Thank you. I'm really happy to be back in California finally. Um, for the moment, I'm in Indonesia, in a small town called Mamuju. It's 2 o'clock nighttime, but as a zero waste person, you do anything to promote the message about zero waste. Uh, these are my social media stuff where I always promote zero waste and cleanups. I'm working, the second leg, except for zero waste, is Let's Do It World, which is a global movement that takes solid waste crisis by mobilizing millions of people all over the world to making cleanups. And our vision is a clean, waste-free world. And this is our logo. And the date was 18 September this year, and we have the World Cleanup Day every year, the third Saturday in September. You can read all the information on the link, worldcleanupday.org, where we also have all the material that is free to download, so we can have a graphic profile which is same for all these different groups all over the world. The World Cleanup Day started the first time 2018, and we brought out about almost 18 million people from 157 countries, and then it went on for 2019 and 2020. We had 165 countries in 11 million. It was a pandemic year and it slowed down a little bit, and this year we managed to reach 191 countries, and 8.5 million people participated in different cleanups. And 2022, it will be the 17th of September. So put that already in your calendar so you are ready to do a cleanup. The idea was 2018 that we should bring out 5% of the world population, which is around 350 million people. We are not really there yet, but we are on our way. You need to have a vision anyway. But to get 5% out of some of the countries around the world. So this is the top list, like Kyrgyzstan. It's not such a big country, but they managed to bring out 10% of the country's population. And then you can see some other countries also there, which Indonesia, where I say now, it's a huge country, and they managed to put out almost 4% of the population during these 4 World Cleanup Days we have had. So it is a great movement, and we have values also, of course, and we are believing very strong in cooperation. So if you want to go fast, you go alone, but if you want to go far, you have to go together, is a famous quote we're using also. And we need to be positive. We take action instead of pointing fingers and telling people this is wrong and so on. So we try to invite people and be a part of a cleanup. Changes happen in people's mind. We know when it happens, and we can really move mountains when we are on the right track. Our vision is a clean and healthy waste-free world, and as for zero waste, we are also working with nature as the model. LDV's vision is that we are a global movement to tackle solid waste crisis by mobilizing millions of people and try to coordinate on both in local and global actions. We have done a lot of different actions, except not only the cleanups, but just to see the figures again a little bit: 191 countries, 271,500 tons of waste has been collected, 60 million people altogether during these years have been working, and 198 million volunteer hours has been put into this project. We are also doing brand audits and country reports and annual reports. All this information you can find on the World Cleanup Days webpage, which is interesting to look into the different countries, how it works, and the effect it has also, and that you can change people's mind, and you can also see the real effect of a cleanup, which I will show you a little bit later. So why are cleanups important? Because it raises awareness about the damage that's being done to our environmental our environment, and it's not usually we talk a lot of plastic pollution, but we should talk about the waste pollution. But plastic is, of course, one of the worst when we talk about especially the oceans and islands all over the world. And it helped people to take responsibility and reduce the amount of plastic pollution that reaches the ocean beaches and harms, of course, wildlife, both onshore and offshore. And it brings the problem of plastic pollution, for example, to the forefront of people's mind. I think that was the best thing happened, when we had this picture from Midway Island 10, 12 years ago, when we saw this albatross there with the bellies full of plastic, and it had a huge effect, and it really got into people's mind that plastic is a big problem. What impact it has, it unites communities. We have seen that you get together with neighbor and friends and you do something, and you can see an immediate result of what you are doing when you do a cleanup. And it helps the environment and remove the plastic pollution, of course, and protect wildlife, and to keep everything free from this harmful plastic that they are eating. And it raises awareness of the negative effects of the plastic pollution, of course, and inspire the community and the members to continue to make changes in their everyday lives to prevent waste pollution and help with different solutions, because there is not only one solution for all these things we are doing, but all these local initiatives all over the world are incredible to see how creative people are and what they can doing with some of this, for example, plastic, what they can create with it and so on, even if that is on a long term not a solution, of course. This is a famous picture when I was in Manila, Philippines. I call it the broken windows theory. It means that when you throw something or you break the first window on glass, it continues and it continues more and more. And it's actually a criminology theory, but waste is, of course, also connected with crime. We know the smuggling of different waste all over the world, but this theory also have this antisocial behavior and the civil disorder, and that's what's happened. When people are throwing stuff, it continues and it works. More and more will come up there. So the cleanup can really change this by transforming a community. This is what it looks like before, and this is what it looks like after, when people started to take care of this problem. And it is about curing what we call the trash blindness. People are living amongst these things. I see here in Indonesia, where I stay, people are living almost in dumps. So they threw everything outside the door, and the logistic to pick up waste and so on is really low. And then it continues. People, they continue to throw stuff, and they don't care about it anymore. So this is the effect of this place in Manila. It turned out to be a eco park, and it's also, as you can see, the sign says material recovery facilities, which they have in every barangay, which is a part of a city or a small village. And these material recovery facilities, you have to sort the waste, and that's exactly what they did here. From having about 8 trucks of picking up waste every day, they are down to less than 1 truck now, and they sort all the material into different fractions, and they sell it and they make money, and finally they create this eco park, which is fantastic to see, and people are so happy and proud of it now. So that is how cleanups can work, and that is also, of course, how zero waste works when we put all these things together. So for our organization, the World Cleanup Day and the Let's Do It World, we need to have an idea, which we had, and we have followers all over the world. We have millions of followers that are doing cleanups, not only on the World Cleanup Day. It's a daily basis thing that's happening every day. Somewhere in the world, people are doing cleanups, more or less, even if they're not all supported by Let's Do It World. There are many, many organizations, Ocean Conservancy and many other surf organizations that do cleanups. And everything is important, and it brings people together. And we are a huge global network, and we are trying to take care of all the different things that are happening around the world when it is coming to cleanup. And we try to merge everything together by our head office in Estonia, where we have people working to put all the statistics together. And we have our values, and we also tell people to be the change you want to see, and you have to be persistent, because this is, sometimes you feel like cleaning up the ocean is really useless because it's coming all the time, more and more and more. You clean up one day, but many places where we're doing cleanups, we see these results, like I just showed you in Manila. It's fantastic when people have done it and they realize the value of having a clean environment, and also how easy it is to do it by yourself or with your neighbors or whoever you work with. So we have a youth movement, and we are promoting for better waste management, and we also talk about segregation, and composting is one of our legs also, and we always have Mr. Enzo, of course, to help us to promote this on our different webinars, and we have training for corporates, and we have community-led projects all over the world. And SEEP is a program we have for schools in Africa in more than 30 different countries, which is a great educational program. We work a lot with Africa, and we have to empower a lot of different groups there, and we also have the Olympic Association in Africa for helping us, and we are helping them how to do tree planting, cleaning, and these famous athletes also are leading by example there, and it's also about strengthening the regional corporations there. And the engagement of people is important, and that's why we also like to have some famous people to help us to do it, that show this is for real, and it has a huge impact, especially when it comes to Africa. We'll be working there. I put these slides also. This is not, we are not talking about Stone Age when we talk about how the single plastic or paper came on our table. It's only like 50, 60 years ago, and some of you that are like me in our upper teens remember this time, you know, when we have the Dixie cup, and that was, as it says, in this environment, kid helps themselves, less work for you, and you must be probably the mother. And that's how it all started, you know, the single-use plastic and paper, which was a crazy idea, but we didn't believe in that at that moment, you know. So the only thing, consumption, the only option that impacts the bottom line is prevention and to tap off the flow we have now. You also have a huge national cleanup day in US, and in San Diego you have two people, William Willoughby and Steve Hewitt, that are incredible promoters of the national cleanup day in US. So contact them if you want to participate in a cleanup. We're all shareholders, remember. Everyone counts, and every little step counts. Whatever you do, it counts. So never give up. Thank you very much from Indonesia.